Welcome back, everyone, to Mirus, the world of mice, crickets, shrimp, and bees. If you're new here, I recommend you watch the full series here in the top right corner of the screen. Mirus, the world of mice, is a seed world. A seed world is an alien world seeded with Earth life by some intelligent life form. In the last episode, we saw an explosion of diversity once again on Mirus. Everything from the little blood bee to the whale-sized marmots. These creatures have evolved for a new challenge: the Ice Age. The ice has swallowed the entire northern hemisphere, leaving it cold, and the continent of Galos and Tellus have collided, forming the supercontinent of Galu. This video is so long I will be splitting it into two parts. This video will cover the vast ice plains and sunflower forest and outcrops. Part 2 will cover the dry lands, the two islands, and the sea. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. And comment down below what I should do for my 100th subscriber special. But without further ado, let's get into the video. The snow plains are a dire place, not fit for many animals, but the ones that inhabit it must evolve or end their lineage right then. The king of the ice, the apex predator of the snow, is the Snow King himself. The Snow King, or Ursimus gallinaris, is an enormous descendant of the snow edemus. They are almost 500 pounds, or 230 kilograms. They have evolved a large maw and a specialized organ above their nose that, quote-unquote, smells heat, allowing them to hunt their prey in blinding snowstorms and track prey for miles. This heat-sensing organ, however, only works in cold climates, as if it is warm, it can't sense its prey. They also have improved hearing thanks to tufts of hair on their ears, similar to that of a lynx. One staple of the Snow King's diet are the Titan muscramen. The Titan muscramen, or Titanidae primus, have taken the niche of a large herbivore from the white ostripus. These shield-head descendants have gotten larger, with thick fur around their skin and throat pouches to prevent damage. They have evolved thick black blubber like a polar bear to absorb more heat in the dire, cold snow plains. And they put said blubber on their feet to soften their footsteps and help their feet hold their massive weight. Their shield has evolved to cover most of the face and has protrusions in the front of the eyes that go down like tusks, similar to some Permian synapsids. These creatures are similar to a mammoth and are equally large, being almost 1.5 tons. One shield-head lineage has evolved to be smaller with its new snowy habitat, an unlikely evolutionary path. The puffhorn, or Taranus perolequens, has made their social structure more tight-knit. These deer-like creatures use their specialized throat pouch to communicate not with sound, but by flashing their bright red ornaments. They have evolved a pseudo-language, the length and amount of flashes conveying different messages, such as predators or competition. These creatures have evolved horns that have formed out of the shield. Their claws has also thickened, and they have started to walk ungulatigrade. These creatures have partitioned their niche with titans, as the titans eat wood stalks, and the puffhorns eat the smaller wood grass. A cousin of the Snow King is a small mesopredator. The Mictus, or Mictus talpevescor, has evolved to hunt the inframoose, similar to a weasel or fox. They have lengthened and has become more slender like a ferret, allowing them to go into inframoose tunnels. They have also shown high intelligence, as their breeding rituals include making structures out of snow, and then littering those structures with trinkets they've collected, such as bones or inframoose corpses. In the snow plains, there are two scavengers, but in nature, when two creatures do the same thing, one typically goes extinct due to competition. However, these two scavengers chose to work with each other instead of against each other. One of these scavengers is Cubonzi, or Pelmus calvapetusus. These creatures wear their mother's skull on their head to protect their brain, essentially giving them an extra thick skull. When a mother gives birth, the females will leave the burrow and attempt to find food. The males, however, fight to the death, and the victor will gorge on its mother as well as cannibalize its other cousins, as it is a descendant of the cannibal mouse. It will eventually grow into its mother's skull. The females, however, do not have this additional skull, as they must give their skull to their pups when they give birth. These creatures then go on to scavenge. They can still smell corpses for miles, and it's become vital for their survival. The second scavenger is the guardian yorn. The guardian yorn, or Ostromus belabusina, has evolved a robust body plan with thick horns. These horns are used to determine a pecking order, as the dominant male has the largest horns and can fight off others, making sure it eats the carrion first. These horns are also used in mating displays in addition to their purple crests. The Kibonzi and guardian yorn scavenge together. The Kibonzi uses its superior sense of smell to find carrion. They then go on to feast, and if there is competition or a predator, the guardians protect their corpse-finding machine vigorously. They see the Kibonzi as another pack member, and the male Kibonzi sometimes uses their second skull to brawl with young guardian yorns in a wholesome display. While the sunflower forest has dwindled, one biome has arisen, the sunflower outcrops. Very similar to the sunflower forest, however, it has much less dense foliage and less rainfall. This has allowed forest dwellers to become larger with more space. One of the newly evolved gremlins, the outcrop gremlin, or Kobosimia tessata, has evolved from the omnivore Musimia. These gremlins have become fully carnivorous with shorter faces and very, very large ears. The outcrop gremlin has fully evolved a knuckle-walking method, since the trees are too far away to swing and it needs to preserve its sharp claws. They've evolved to be larger to take down large prey. Gremlins use their claws to pin down their prey, then attacking with the maw. While these gremlins may be over 200 pounds, they can still climb trees and sometimes drop on unsuspecting prey. After millions of years, the great spined mouse has evolved into a larger, more defended herbivore. This spined cow, or Echinodermus specumero, has evolved to be much larger, becoming a similar size to a cow. They have also evolved some of their spines into a larger keratin spike on the shoulders, similar to some stegosaurid dinosaurs. They have changed their diet into a more plant-based diet, feeding off grass like a cow. While this creature may look like a relative of the spined cow, it is simply a product of convergent evolution, as their last common ancestor was the field mouse that was seated on Mirus. The spiny scrant eater, or Liguandui speculum, has lined some hairs on its back with keratin and turned them into spines. This creature has also gotten even larger to additionally fend off predators. One hosenose lineage was tired of climbing up and down the trees, so they evolved a skin membrane to glide from beehive to beehive. Since the trees and the outcrops are on average 12 feet apart, they also have more hooked claws on the front limbs to hold onto trees for several minutes while feeding on honey from beehives. The gliding Musimia has evolved bat-like flight, becoming the Volaris. And with the adaptation of powered flight, many species quickly radiated out. One of these species is the most primitive Volaris species, the seed Volaris, or Volaris granum. This creature continues to feed on seeds in the outcrops. These creatures use their flight to fly from tree to tree, eating the seeds. They also use their flight to escape predators. One species of Volaris has evolved to eat the abundant albes. They have convergently evolved with epimuses, forming thick fur that defend against bee stings. The bee Volaris, or Volaris episcomodentis, has evolved a crest of hair for mating. These creatures are found in both sunflower forests and outcrops. One descendant of the hook bee is the raptor bee, or Apis carinus hamus. These bees have evolved their back claw into a more raptor-like claw. These bees have become Volaris specialists, grabbing them with their back claws and stinger. The stinger then paralyzes the prey, and the raptor bee feeds off of them. Due to the larger space in the outcrops, an Ostromus lineage has evolved to be even larger. This creature is known as a maur, or Ostromus elesesi. These creatures have evolved a long, mobile upper lip similar to a moose or a tapir. This allows them to manipulate leaves and occasionally aquatic vegetation. Another lineage of hook bee has evolved to become flightless. Since larger bees have evolved a thinner exoskeleton, this land-dwelling bee would be a target of predation. So, they evolved their now useless wings into thick leather armor like a scarab, while not having any wings underneath. These scarabees, or Apis carinus elytra, have become scavengers, feeding off other predators' kills, but before grants. These scarabee have become larger since they no longer need to fly. They've also evolved a more efficient respiratory system. They've also started laying their eggs in dead wood, which allows their juvenile stage to eat wood and not be competition to older scarabees in scavenging. The sunflower forest being a more dense ecosystem, the creatures are typically smaller. However, most flying organisms live in both biomes. The apex predator of the forest is a gremlin that is more arboreal than its outcrop cousins. These forest gremlins, or Cobosimia injecticus, have very strong limbs that it uses to swing from tree to tree and hunt kemus. These gremlins have evolved a specific tooth structure to rip out flesh. However, these gremlins mainly use their sharp claws to kill its prey. These gremlins have become crepuscular, or active from noon to midnight, to hunt sleeping prey as well as hunt prey that sleeps in the day. They have evolved large eyes to see in the dark, giving them night vision. The main herbivore of the forest is not a mouse, but a cricket. These kythes, or Herbphalx gigantus, have become larger with a more advanced respiratory system. These 5-foot-long crickets have evolved their bottom horns into scythe-like appendages that cut grass and allow it to feed on all the grass at once. They use their other horns to fight for mates and defend from predators. Another main herbivore is the kimu, a koala-like Musimia descendant that eats seeds in the forest. The kimu, or Musimia kaitstumamanu, has a shorter tail and much larger ears. These ears are used to detect predators, and their long arms used for fast tree swinging. The albi is found in all sunflower biomes. However, they are most common in the sunflower forests. These albis, or Apis algae viridis, get their name from the algae that has grown onto their back. These two creatures have a symbiotic relationship. The algae grows on the bee's back and gives the bee camouflage when stationary. In return, the algae is not eaten. The small scavenger of the forest is the diablo, or Gridacursu diablos. These crickets have gotten larger, almost 2 feet long, and they have turned their split prong horn into 2 separate horns that it uses to protect its carrion from other diablos without killing them. They have many spikes on their carapace that makes eating them an unpleasant process for predators. Thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in for the second part of this episode where we go to the southern hemisphere and the oceans. the warmer part of the planet. In my opinion, the art in this episode has improved significantly, and I am excited to see what happens next. Have a great day, and goodbye.